And y'all two know me. Somebody said Timberland be up here stealing people music and training people music.
We already addressed that. Yeah.
No. Guru, I don't think you. I think I did, but it's me. Like,
no.
But it's me. I'm here to upgrade you. Why would I want to train off of something that I'm helping you get better on? I have my own music. I can't train something that I don't own. I don't own, like if I had an AI company that you can upload, I can train you. I can't do that.
You still need millions of songs.
Yeah, I can't train you. I could just listen to your music. I can't do that. I can't.
I think you need to make that point clear, Tim, because the music, well, let me say this, the platforms are being trained off of music, but you need to make a separation between you're not doing that versus the rest of the AI is doing that. The rest of the AI is training off of our music. So again, this goes back to my legal thing of like, okay, the simple solution is you gotta pay me for that. The same way that when we came in to streaming, right? We tried to sue our way through it. Mm-hmm. We had Napster and all that other stuff. I was in Def Jam. And I was like, this ain't gonna work. Because if you sue Napster, tomorrow they're gonna make Papster. And then if you sue that, they're gonna make Tapster. And then it doesn't matter. But it needs to be some compensation for you training this thing off of my music. Because the concentration of wealth, the concentration of... I wrote this thing down. It's called FACE RIP, right? So that's freedom, accountability, concentration.
All right. I'm Savvy Mike in this. Because I am Savvy Mike TV. And, well, we have Timbaland on our screen because apparently he's officially started a new record label where he just signs artists made out of AI. The producer has officially launched Stage Zero, a new AI-powered entertainment to make pop music out of AI. Yes, this is a real pic. And on the right is the AI artist, Tata. That is what I just read, the tweet. This is not good. This is no bueno. This is no fucking good right here. Regardless of it, apparently he was on Twitch doing live streams, having artists send in music and saying, hey, you might get signed. But now he's receiving a lot of backlash right now because people think he had all these opportunities to sign real artists just to probably take all that music that was submitted to him, plug it into his algorithm or program to create this AI artist, Tata. And he wants to defend it, says it's the future. Your music wasn't good enough to begin with. AI is making better music than you niggas. Like, that's what Timbaland is that's what he feels. So apparently he had a long conversation with, a pretty long conversation with, I believe, other hip hop OG producers, Young Guru, and Guru, legendary producer, one of Jay's right hand mans as far as production and engineering goes. And they had an interesting conversation. Let's watch and listen.
When I can get to a point where I don't need you. So let's talk about automation on a real basic level. And I'm going to take y'all all the way up. And when I get deep into this, you'll fully understand, right? Before, the line used to be a bunch of men and women.
We're going to, John's Wall, we're going to bring you in.
Cars, right? And we got to automation to where, why do I need human beings screwing in these screws, creating these cars? I can get machines to do this, right? It was the death of Detroit. The auto industry in Detroit left. So my older cousins who was in management, they survived, yeah, but the people, the playing field of what happened was the people that was my mama and my daddy age that gave the jobs and worked all the way to manager, and they had their sons and their daughters on that line. Now the sons and the daughters don't have no job because literally a computer is screwing in the car. You understand what I'm saying? It cuts out all of those jobs. Detroit falls. The U.S. car industry falls. So you, personally, you made your money. And that's great. Black man make your money. But you one person. What happened to the rest of the people that worked on the line? They out of a job because a computer now comes in and is able to create the car. So what I'm talking about is the ecosystem, bro. the ecosystem, and eventually your taste is going to be put. Do you again, when you see me looking down, I'm not lying to the people. I wrote this shit down so I remember.
No, hold on, let me tell the people, Guru is my guy. This is the guy who's gonna give us the real. That's why you here.
Right, my brother. No, of course, it's all in love. And if everybody look at my comments, I want to reinforce that, Tim, because that's even more than the topic that we're talking about. This is the way that we teach the youngins, bro. I'm 51 years old, right? I'm trying to explain to my 18-year-olds about arguing versus building. This is the way we used to build, y'all. This is the way we used to build. So this is my brother. I love him to death. If you look at all of my comments, it says in love, right? So a lot of the way that I argue is through asking questions.
I love it. You know, I've been knowing you for years. I watch you do it. Yeah. You know, in studio stuff. You don't let me go there. Come on now. I know how you get down.
Right. But it's important, Tim. It's bigger than the issue, you know what I'm saying, between me and you. It's about how do you build. I'm asking questions. So my thing is not, yo, you wrong, you doing this, you doing that. Got it. Let me ask the question. Okay. Got it. So if we look at, like, okay, the rate of change is something that people don't understand. So if you look at AI doubles in power, 5 to 7 months, doubles. So when you say, yo, my taste, it's going to look at what your taste was. And I don't think people understand exponential, right? Versus linear. Linear is I add by 1 and 2 and 3. Exponential means it doubles every time. So I could sit here with, that's like Jay and them playing guts. I never play guts with them. You know why? Because if you put $100 in there, the next time it's 200. The next time it's 400. The next time it's 8. Do you realize how fast you could lose $50,000 playing guts with Jay? Because it's exponential.
He gonna make you lose the 50 grand. That's the exactly.
I ain't playing guts with Jay 50,000 anywhere.
Exponential is a different thing. This is how fast AI is working. So it's going to look at your taste. It's going to look at what the people reacted to, and it's going to go, okay, I'm learning. We're feeding the beast. And we stopped doing it off of instruction. Now we asking AI to make other AI. This is like, and I was on the car thing, right?
John Wall's like, he like you, boy. This guy in the chat, John Wall, he like what you saying. Keep talking. He owed.
If we did just dealing with the car thing, look at what it did to Detroit, bro. My family is from Detroit. Look at what it did. So not only does it affect my cousins who were supposed to be on the next line, it affected everybody in the community. So now when that thing drops, when it's no longer those things in Detroit that are building cars, not only does it affect Ford, not only does it affect whatever car dealership is there, it affects the hot dog vendor that sold hot dogs to them at lunchtime. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It affects everybody in the music business.
Well, okay, go ahead.
So it affects everybody in the music business when it goes, okay, I no longer need a Sean Garrett. I no longer need a Neo. Because we writing the songs based off of what they did already. But you actually using Neo and Sean Garrett's writing style to be able to write hits for Beyonce, to be able to write hits. Imagine if I took all of Aaliyah's work and I said, I'm gonna train this so we no longer need Aaliyah. We no longer need Missy. What?
So no, hold on. I gotta.
No. You're right, but it's not. It don't do that.
I got a question.
I know what you're saying.
The market doesn't accept the copies. You know what I'm saying? Like the market, people can push a copy, but it ain't gonna really go nowhere, right? Like,
yes, it will.
Meaning like, if it tripped, but it tripped the wires and it got taken down, right? Like the people responded.
It got taken down because we said
because the market rejected it. People rejected it.
We said to the Grammys, there's no way that you can allow for an AI to be up for a Grammy. But there was a Drake and Weeknd song that was created by somebody that's not Drake and Weeknd that was up for a Grammy. Are you kidding me?
My question is this. When
I'm getting hype.
Okay. But
that's the good stuff because people, like John, like these guys, and independent produce. Everybody has these questions, so these are things that it's great to bring up.
My question is this: like when sampling came out, right? Like you guys were the OGs, right? When sampling came out, there was the same conversation, I would imagine, because I wasn't personally there, being had amongst the session musicians that are saying, yo, wait a minute, you can put all these sounds in an ASR 10? Oh, so we don't have session musicians in the studio anymore. And so the only question I'm having is, okay, we've seen that happen then, and then hip hop music was leveraged off of this new technology that allowed people to copy in a different way. Right. And all the you know, I asked about what do we do when the battlefield changes? Like there's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube, right? Like there is no removing sample machines off of the market.
I'm gonna cut you off on purpose, right? Let me say that. Let me make it absolutely clear. I'm an optimist. You are not going to stop AI. Let me be clear. I think people, because that was one of the things I want to address when people was like, "Ooh, you're not going to stop." Of course, it's here. You're not going to stop it. What I'm talking about is regulation and the way that we have to think about it to be able to move to ask what we asking for. So stay on that same thing that you're talking about, sampling, right? When we first came out, we were just sampling free, right? We was just sampling free and nobody was getting sued. And then it came to the people being like, yo, you using my music. So, okay, of course. Now we have sample clearance. The big case that brought it all to fruition was the Biz Markie case, when they actually took Biz's album off the shelf, right? Because, yo, you can't just freely take somebody's music. So that's why we have sample clearance. Me and Ninth Wonder we could have been put Ruben Vincent album out. You know why? Because why it's not out? Because of the fact that we're going through sample clearance. We're going to properly pay everyone that we sample from. Now, first of all, sampling the way that we do it is to take something and to say, yo, I'm reimagining this, but I'm giving you credit and I'm actually paying you for it. Right? AI is not paying the people that they're training this thing off of, number one. Number two is that sampling is a collage of us saying, how can I take whatever you did and reimagine it? Tim doing I Can't Stand the Rain is a completely different imagination of that record put in a different way. That's a sample. So that's a false equivalent to try to say that sampling and AI is the same thing. It's not. We credit the people that we take the music from. It's an art form because we say we're a collage of everything. But the biggest thing is that we have law. That's all I'm asking for. If you look right now in the United States, I cannot have a copyright on my voice. I can have a copyright on a composition, but I can't have a copyright on my voice, which means that if you take Biggie lyrics, you got to pay for that. But if you take Biggie voice, you don't have to pay for that.
That's name and likeness. That be in the terms and conditions.
The voice has to be added to NIL. Name, image, and likeness. It has to be added. It has to be. That's when Tim said, what are the things, when we in this thing of like, what are we asking for? Because we know it's here and we know it's not going nowhere. How do we shape the law? How do we look at the problems? And I'm not like I'm not a populism nigga. I'm sorry, I say the word nigga. I hope y'all understand what populism is.
No. But let me say something. I'll look at somebody in the chat say.
Okay, go ahead.
And y'all two know me. Somebody said, Timberland be up here stealing people music and training people music.
We already addressed that. Yeah.
No. Guru, I think I did, but it's me. Like, no. But it's me. I'm here to upgrade you. Why would I want to train off of something that I'm helping you get better on? I have my own music. I can't train something that I don't own. I don't own, like if I had an AI company that you can upload, I can train you. I can't do that.
You still need millions of songs.
Yeah, I can't train you. I can just listen to your music. I can't do that. I can't.
I think you need to make that point clear, Tim, because the music, let me say this, the platforms are being trained off of music, but you need to make a separation between you're not doing that versus the rest of the AI is doing that. The rest of the AI is training off of our music. So again, this goes back to my legal thing of like, okay, the simple solution is you gotta pay me for that. The same way that when we came in to streaming, right? We tried to sue our way through it. We had Napster and all that other stuff. I was in Def Jam, and I was like, this ain't gonna work. Because if you sue Napster, Tomorrow they're gonna make Papster. And then if you sue that, they're gonna make Tapster. And then it doesn't matter. But it needs to be some compensation for you training this thing off of my music, because the concentration of wealth, the concentration of I wrote this thing down. It's called Face RIP, right? So that's freedom, accountability, concentration. Listen to this thing for 3 or 4 months on radio. You remember that point where everybody was copying you?
They still do, man.
Everybody, right? We got tired of it, and Tim moved on. So after we get out of that phase, we get to a Justin Timberlake phase. Okay, now y'all copying the Justin Timberlake phase. And then we could go on and on. But what we trying to do is make sure that the human emotion is still in it. To make sure that we still get to represent who we are from learning and being older. Like a Jay-Z at whatever, 28 years old or 27 on a Reasonable Doubt is different than a Jay-Z on a 444. But if I would have left it up to AI and y'all only had Reasonable Doubt, you would have never got to 444. That's the point.
I think we're leaving out the taste factor.
Exactly.
And also,
I mean, to be honest with you, man, it's like I think regardless of what I was trying to make, it was my taste of what I was hearing in my head.
Did you see that in my post? I said, yo, bro, you leaving out your impeccable taste. Your taste
you gotta understand, I did that shit with spoons. Cause my mom couldn't afford a keyboard. I couldn't afford stuff, but it was my taste. So no matter what I'd use, I was gonna get the best because it was in me. That's what God gave me.
Tool is.
No matter what the tool is, I know how to play.
But hold on though. Hold on. So if you still got to know how to use the tool, the training of using the tool is still part of what makes you make what you make. Even the restriction of the tool. So if I could take all of jazz and I could program this thing to say, yo, here's the history of jazz music. Someone who's never touched an instrument ever in their life could go, you know what? Give me a song that's 25% Coltrane, 10% Monk, 10% this person, 10%, and put. It's like you never had the training to understand. And I'm saying jazz because that's like one of the hardest things to play. Jazz players don't play for the audience. They play for themselves. They play to show off to other jazz players.
Yeah.
To show that you can play on that level. That's a real deep thing. Mm-hmm. So to even stand on a stage at Minton's, right, and be like, yo, we taking this away from what regular jazz is, and we're going to create this new thing. You had to already have the old thing to say that we moving away from that to get to this new thing. That's what make Coltrane. So if anybody can do Coltrane, it's like when kids come up to me and be like, yo, I could play Coltrane's song better than Coltrane. I'd be like, why would I want to do it? I already heard Coltrane. That's his expression,
so,
not yours.
Guru, let me ask you a question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you could fire a pistol don't make you a sniper, though. You know what I'm saying? Just because you know how to access a tool don't make you a sniper. And I think,
but what I'm trying to tell you is that
Timba.
What I'm trying to tell you is that we now have drones that could fire as good as the best snipers in the world. So you're taking away the thing of studying to be a sniper.
Right, no doubt. But
you're missing the point.
But at the end of the day,
okay. But like, does it take away? You said take it away to be a sniper, but guess what? A real sniper gonna know how to work that drone sniper because he is a sniper.
Yeah, and Tim, this is where I go back to saying that you already have. Yes, of course. If I have my choice of people who gonna work the drone, I want a sniper. But
they modeled the sniper, the drone after the best sniper.
Yeah,
the best sniper gave him that information to be.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
You think it's just a computer? You think they just typed that in?
No. What I'm telling you is that the best drone was made off of a program, whereas the best sniper know how to duck. He know what the weather look like. The drone don't know that. He know how to breathe. He know what the situation is. He know how to move. All of that. And you giving that information to somebody who ain't a sniper, who don't know how to work. All you doing is you saying, yo, it's people literally right now in war, it's kids playing video games. They doing like this, killing people.
The Bill
You know
Gates,
what I'm saying?
they got more. They got more knowledge of being a sniper than a sniper now.
That gets to the point. That gets to the point of where we at, because the AI is so much faster than us. You got to understand what AI really is. You got to understand that you could put the whole of human history into a computer, and somebody can have in the drone. You have the whole of war.
That's true.
Versus,
hold up, what you about to say?
What I'm trying to say is, if the nature of warfare has changed, why are we still looking at what should be? And you know what I mean? And instead of talking about what we can do about it, right? Because it's like these things are out here, and we might let.
Because of the fact that chess is a strategy. I said this before, and people got on me. Chess is a strategy game. It's not a life game. In life, you have to always remember that emotion, the change of the weather, anything can affect what you're doing in war. That's why. So if you program it for all these situations, and that situation has never happened before, it don't know how to deal with it.
Look, at the end of the day, you cannot teach a robot how to rap like J. Cole. You can't teach it how to rap like Kendrick. Hell, even with Drake getting help, you can't even teach it how to rap like Drake. At the end of the day, regardless of it, like, we need human expression in our art, whether that be music, movies, television. We can use AI to enhance the human expression. I'm not opposed to that. That I'm not opposed with, because AI does have its uses. But once you just start using AI to, like, run a label and create artists through AI artists and whatnot, and just create robot music basically, and try to sell that shit, it's just like, it's not going to turn out how you think it is, because at the end of the day, we're still humans. Regardless of it, you can push this AI as much as you fucking want to. And while, yes, it has its certain uses, like the drones they brung up and all this extra shit, sure, yeah. But at the same time, you know, when it comes to art, this isn't war. In war, yeah, sure, use AI, drones, whatnot. I mean, it might lead to the Terminator, but that is what it is. But when it comes to at least music and art, like, we need more human expression and less robotic expression, if you get what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you could say, well, I'm training it from the best of the best, from it's taking expressions and quotes from Michael Jackson and songwriting tips from Neo, and I'm using AI to train to create this amazing new artist. But at the end of the day, that's just lazy, in my opinion. That just stops discovery, because it's millions of humans out here that are showing you, hey, you don't need a robot. We have the talent, but you don't want to deal with that. you just rather deal with a robot, and you make more money benefited from it. So at the end of the day, I think Timberland is wrong here, but hopefully he acknowledges that and decides to move differently. Like, there's no need to create AI artists to sell music. Like, you're Timberland. You're an amazing producer, and you've done it before. I believe if you just keep producing and work with artists, you could do it again. Just keep producing and working with artists. Why do you need an AI label? Anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And if a nigga hating, call him Joe Budden. Peace.